With us today is Michael Scott, who is the CEO for Pure Flix, a movie streaming service, movie maker that you might know. Michael, welcome today.
Thank you so much for having me on CrossFam. It's exciting what you guys are doing, and I'm excited to be here today.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. Many years ago, I had a movie executive tell me, this is a Hollywood movie executive, tell me that the major Hollywood studios have no problem with making Christian movies. Their only requirement is that it has to turn a profit and it has to make money. And it has to be profitable. So, and for a long time, Christian movies weren't profitable. But in recent years, as you well know, we've certainly seen evidence that Christian movies can be profitable. Out of your studio, I mean, the God's Not Dead series has been a great testament to that. You know, the Kendrick brothers movies, the Irwin brothers now. So my question to start off today is, can Christian films be sustainable in Hollywood long term?
I think from Hollywood's perspective, okay, Hollywood doesn't always understand Christian films, what it means.
Right.
What they look at it from is, oh, we've seen some success in this film. There's a pot of gold down there. How do we mine that gold?
Yeah, and all they care about is some money.
Correct. All they care, and which is fine, you know, because I always say people always can get confused about combining money versus is money or mission. If the film's more successful, it's more profitable, but it also has more reach and touches more people's lives. So they go hand in hand. But I think Hollywood doesn't always know when they say a Christian film, does that mean we mention God once in the film, or it's really integrated into the film? And that's where the points in Hollywood start to become a little blurry in terms of, they think you mentioned God once, it's a faith-based film. We're thinking something much more overt. And so understanding that spectrum and who they're designing the film for, so often they always say, well, we're not sure about the faith-based audience. We wanted to appeal not only the faith-based, but everybody else. And then they end up making a film that appeals to no one. Christians say it's for the secular say it's for Christians, and nobody goes.
It's caught in the middle.
And so it's a dangerous thing. So, you know, there's been some successful studios that have done really good at it, like Affirm Films at Sony, you know, the Kendrick brothers, and, you know, a variety of things, even the films, some of the films we've done. It is a tough business, to be honest, finding that right IP or intellectual property or film that's actually going to resonate with the audience. You know, a lot of times you don't know exactly how, you try to line up all the possible things you do, but you don't know until you get to opening box office day whether or not that film is ultimately going to be successful.
And that first day or two is the key to the whole thing.
That's the key.
Right?
You can tell, I can tell by Friday at noon.
That's nuts.
You know,
when you think about
3
that.
hours into it, you know where you sit. So,
and you've just got the morning matinees.
You got the morning matinees. You can extrapolate the algorithm.
That's
and know
crazy.
Where it goes.
That's crazy. What's the key difference between the Christian films that are being made today versus the ones that were made in yesteryear? I mean, I remember as a kid growing up, my dad was a pastor, and one Sunday night a month, he would get a Christian film from somewhere and show it on the 16 millimeter projector, and it was grainy and you couldn't see it. But what's the big difference between yesterday and today? I mean, I think the films today are of high quality. They're great.
They're super high quality. I think it's a lot like the music industry. You go back to the 90s or 80s, and you kind of had one genre, one type of Christian music. Now it's really, it's really got a vast amount of genres, a vast amount of artists that are really successful, and film is coming along in the same way. It's we're seeing better quality films. Part of that due is, as the films have been more successful, people have put more money in behind them, and the consumer wants a better quality film. They say the truth of the matter is most Christians are watching the Netflix, the Hollywood films and everything like that, and they want to know that when they go to a Christian film, is it of the same caliber? Is it the same quality? And we're seeing films that are better quality and are matching the tastes of what the viewers may be watching in Hollywood tend to do really well.
Yeah. Do you see any one movie as kind of the turning point or the tipping point for Christian film, one that really just brought it into the mainstream?
Say The Passion.
It's easy to point to that one, I know.
Now, but I would say beyond that, I'll say one of the things in the late 90s and early in the first decade of the 2000s, there wasn't a lot of film being produced. So you could produce almost any film, regardless of quality level, and it would be wildly successful because the audience was hungry for film. 2014, when we released God's Not Dead, was a turning point year in Hollywood.
It was huge.
Not just because of God's Not Dead, but that same year, within a 2-month period, you had Son of God, which was based on the Bible from the Burnett's. You had God's Not Dead, you had Noah, and you had Heaven is for Real. And they called it the year of the Bible. And so I think that was a turning point where everybody started to jump in and say, wow. And you saw a really strong cadence of films coming after that theatrically from 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18. I think we saw a little bit of fatigue in the marketplace in 18, and the films are coming a little more challenging, and then the pandemic hit. And now it's been a lot slower cadence of releases theatrically, but I do think that they'll come back more.
Right. Tell me a little bit about your background. I mean, how did you get into the movie industry, into the movie business?
So I had a passion for film and photography when I was back in high school and stuff, and wanted to be a filmmaker, and I actually went to school for it. And then I got into advertising. And what I saw there was interesting. I did a lot of national commercials for car manufacturers, Apple Computers, Taco Bell. And what I saw was the power of media. You could take 30 seconds, and if you did it right, you could motivate someone to buy a computer, buy a car, eat a taco. And I said, wow, if we could harness this to really use it for the gospel and put some incredible film down it, well, how great would that be? And so in 2005, I left the advertising world and launched Pure Flix.
Great. I'm sorry, I apologize if I'm jumping all around, but I love to ask people in the movie industry, the faith-based movie industry, this question. Christian comedy. Does it work? Will it work? I mean, I've seen some nice touches for Christian comedy, but to me, there's never really been a movie out there that was just full, straight on Christian comedy that was like, yes, that's it.
We've explored it, multiple films, TV series, everything. And I'll say from my perspective and looking at it from all the other people that explored, it has not worked to date at all.
And
I think it's two things. Comedy, you're typically making fun of something. And so, and more importantly, you're making fun light of the people that are around you, you know? So in this, if you're gonna do a Christian comedy, you're gonna make fun a little bit of Christianity. And I think as much as people love comedies, they might find that a little bit, I don't know if offensive is the right word, or a little bit maybe, I don't know if this is quite right. So they haven't landed. I'm not saying it's not possible, just haven't seen the success there.
Yeah, it's amazing because I keep thinking there's something that's going to break through, but then never.
And you know, it's funny, if you ask the consumer, what do you want to see? It's always in the top 2. But then when you make it, nobody wants to see it. So I'm yet to figure it out myself.
Okay. Well, when you do,
I'll let you know.
That could be huge.
Well, because I'll be cheering too, but I'm a little gun shy on the comedies right now.
You know, the movie Mom's Night Out kind of went into that.
And we actually developed that and wrote it. And then we sold it to Sony. So it's kind of interesting. So, but yes, that was another one. That was one of the few. But, you know, I always say this, you can never make a business on one success. Is it consistent?
Absolutely right. Another area of the industry, I'm changing gears here. Another area that's really kind of given you folks a boost at Pure Flix is your streaming service. I mean, you've got some great programs on there. I've written some down here. I mean, you've got Highway to Heaven, Here's Lucy, Bonanza, the classic shows here, Beverly Hillbillies, Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, on and on. But you not only have these proven classic TV shows, you've got a lot of great original content in there as well. I'm thinking of some of the shows that your partner David A.R. White has worked on. Those are good shows. Those are good shows. So my question for you is, what sets Pure Flix apart from the Netflixes, the Hulus, the Amazon Primes of the world?
So you know that when you come to Pure Flix, we're going to have God-honoring content that's safe for your family. It doesn't have that language, sex, or violent surprises. You know, you can watch that, and ultimately it's going to point towards God. But we also want to serve a wide audience, a wide audience of people, right?
Sure.
And so we have stuff, action, adventure. I said we have a film on there. It's called Beckman. It's kind of the Christian John Wick. We have Sons of Thunder for the guys. Equally, we have this, you know, the romantic comedies or some of the films, the dramas for the women and stuff like that. And we have all the kids programming. So we're trying to serve the whole family, not just one individual, but the whole family.
So what will keep Pure Flix sustainable moving forward? You know, with all these I reeled off like 4 or 5 people in that space now, and there's probably many, many more. What's going to keep you guys sustainable moving forward?
I think a couple things. Number one, we always got to have new content, better content that people want. But secondly, Hollywood doesn't understand the Christian market. And so in most cases, they dabble in it, but they never dive in. And so they could, but they haven't. And so I think they're a little bit nervous about it. And so I think that does set us apart because we are a faith-based service. We have family content as well, but I think the faith sets us apart. And we understand what a faith-based movie is. We understand what that marketplace is looking for, what they want. And I think we understand it. And for us, it is a mission. We want to impact people's lives. Right. And so I think that sets us apart from everybody else.
What's one thing that you'd like to see happen in the Christian movie industry in the next 5 years? I mean, something that maybe isn't happening so much now, but you could see it as being something that would be...
I think what we need more, I think the industry is changing. It used to be all about film, movies. Mm-hmm. We need to see, the world now is saying, what's the next Yellowstone? What's the next great TV show? And I think we need some more really high quality TV shows. I hope some of ours are that and we can make them and other people can make them. But I think TV is the next landscape that's going to be captured, more episodic series TV for the Christian market that I think will come along quite well.
As CEO of Pure Flix, what's your greatest hope for the organization? I mean, what would you like to see ultimately happen for it?
I think I say this, the greatest hope for me is as Christians, we need to come together. Okay. And what I mean by that, in the media industry particularly, when we see a faith-based film come to the theaters, we see services like Pure Flix or other ones come up there, we need to support them. It may not be perfect today, that film that you go see in the theater or whatever, but if we support that, Hollywood will take notice. They will say there's an audience here and we should make more of that. And the streaming services will be able to create better and more product for the consumer that ultimately will touch their lives and uplift them. So we got to support where we're at now so we can build to the future.
Any new projects, Pure Flix projects that really excite you and get you're really jazzed about?
We have some
you can talk about?
Yeah, we have some great ones. We just launched The God's Not Dead, We the People, the fourth in the series on the platform.
Set in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, it's a great film, really deals with, kind of freedom of speech, freedom of religion. It's a great film. I encourage everybody to check it out. I think you'll be touched by it.
And that's available right now.
Available right now. Jump on. The other one we're shooting right now in South Africa, my partner David White, who many of you guys probably know, who's been in a lot of movies. He's shooting a series called Revelation Road on the films. It's an end times action adventure series.
A previous film or two with that
There's
title?
3 films,
okay.
And now we're doing a series, and it's kind of a Mad Max apocalyptic series.
Brian Bosworth was in some of the earlier ones.
He's down in South Africa.
Oh, he's in these ones too?
He's in the series as well. So
that's great.
He'll be down there. We just have a great film that's in post-production right now on Dr. Meg Meeker's book, Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters, and it's a romantic kind of comedy like Father of the Bride, but it's got a great faith message to it on how fathers can raise strong daughters, and I think that's a really fun, just entertaining film with a great message. So there's a ton coming. We're trying to produce, 12, 15 new projects a year, both TV series and movies.
Yeah.
And then we're licensing from everybody else. We're bringing 30 to 50 new titles a month to the series. I mean, to the platform.
So if somebody wants to join up for the streaming service, where do they go?
So you go to pureflix.com. Okay. You get a free 7-day trial.
Oh, nice.
You can choose a monthly subscription or an annual subscription, whatever you like. And you can watch it on any device, anywhere, anytime, and you can watch as much as you like and enjoy. And there's stuff for the kids, there's stuff for the wives, there's stuff for the husbands, the whole family. You'll be entertained and really enjoy it. And most importantly, you'll be uplifted. We want to be a light in the darkness.
Wow, fantastic. Thanks so much for the time, Michael.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I love being on.
I'm excited for what the future holds for movies.
Thank you.
It's great.
Appreciate it.